Hey scientists! Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona. What are all of the ways that this city might use freshwater resources? Pause the video here to record your thoughts. Over 1.6 million Phoenix residents depend on clean water for daily needs, like drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Water also supports local agriculture, including thirsty crops like cotton, and cools equipment in the city's aerospace manufacturing sector. Recreational use is another major factor. People flock to Phoenix for water parks, as well as boating, swimming, and fishing on the Salt River. The Phoenix area uses about 750 billion gallons annually. That's a lot of water. But Phoenix, Arizona is just one city in the Colorado River watershed. Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, Denver, and more cities all pull water from this same watershed. Watersheds are complex. Changing water flow in one area can trigger ripple effects hundreds of miles away, affecting access for many people with different needs. So what happens to Phoenix if there's a drought in California or a water shortage in Colorado? And how can communities stay informed about what's happening across such a vast interconnected system? Today, we'll learn how different communities and governments come together to manage massive watersheds like the Colorado River. We'll also explore how individual actions can help conserve water, keeping enough fresh water for everyone. The Colorado River watershed isn't just one river. It's a network of rivers, streams, aquifers, and reservoirs. And the water gets used in lots of ways. About 70% of the water is used for agriculture, irrigating 5 million acres of farmland and helping raise livestock. Cities and towns pump water for drinking, cleaning, and flushing toilets from rivers or aquifers, providing nearly 40 million people with potable water for domestic use. And industries use it to cool machinery, clean equipment, and make products. All of these uses pull water out of the watershed, but we also depend on the water staying in the watershed. Millions of people use electricity generated by hydropower through dams like the Hoover Dam, and future generations will also need fresh water. Water also needs to stay in the watershed to protect fish and wildlife resources. Streams, rivers, and lakes are important aquatic ecosystems, keeping biodiversity balanced and providing food for humans. Basically, the water in watersheds is used for tons of different purposes, and often across multiple cities, states, or large areas. But water in this system isn't unlimited, and one city's water plan can impact water use hundreds of miles away. Overuse can drain the water supply faster than tributaries and groundwater can naturally recharge it. Overpumping and drilling can also drain aquifers. So how can people from across different states or countries work together to prevent the overuse of water? In 1922, the Colorado River watershed was facing a big problem. Each of the 7 states wanted to use water for big projects, and they couldn't agree with each other on how to share this resource in a fair way. Some of the states had the perfect conditions for agriculture and wanted to prioritize irrigation. Other states wanted most of the water to be used for industry. All of these different stakeholders had different priorities, but there simply wasn't enough water for all of the proposed uses. They needed to find a compromise. That compromise was the Colorado River Compact of 1922. The federal government and all of the state governments came together to make sure that everyone was sharing the Colorado watershed. They divided this massive watershed into 2 sections, the upper basin and the lower basin, and set a limit on how much water could be removed for beneficial use from each basin every year. This type of agreement allows for water use for all kinds of activities, as long as these activities are good for citizens. But it also sets limits to prevent a tragedy of the commons. Monitoring water use in each area ensures that no one is using more than their fair share, And splitting a huge watershed into smaller chunks makes it easier for the states that are closer together to communicate about any new water use plans. This agreement also set up a system to track the water levels in big lakes in different areas of the watershed. This ensures that different parts of the watershed are recharging naturally after the water is removed. By closely monitoring water levels, we can catch any changes to the water supply early and update regulations as populations grow and water needs change. This legislation was a great start, and this method successfully managed the Colorado River watershed for decades. But monitoring for overuse alone isn't enough. This type of agreement is focused on preventing the overuse of water by humans. Natural events can impact water levels too. Let's head back to Phoenix to take a closer look. This graph shows the average temperatures over 90 years in Phoenix, Arizona. What trend do you notice in the data? Pause the video here to record your observations. The average temperatures went up over time. How do you think these increasing temperatures impact the water supply? Pause the video here to record your predictions. When temperatures increase, more water evaporates from surface water, lowering the water levels. And with climate change increasing temperatures, there are also more droughts. This means that rainfall is not replenishing the water used from watersheds as quickly as it used to, further reducing the water supply. This is what's happening today in the Colorado River watershed. Ongoing drought conditions have caused lake and river levels in this watershed to steadily decline, even with drought contingency plans, which are backup plans to save extra water during dry periods. In the coming years, new agreements will have to be made to protect this watershed. Even with careful planning for human activity, natural events can make water resources run low. So how can we conserve water when this happens? Fresh water is a limited, precious resource. So how do we save or conserve water in the face of climate change, drought, and overuse? We've already looked at one strategy: government and legal solutions. Allotment laws like the Colorado River Compact and tracking programs can set limits on water use, preventing any one city, state, or region from using too much. The next strategy? Technological innovations can also be used to conserve water. Real-time monitoring systems use sensors and automated controls to identify leaks and inefficiencies, saving water. Drip irrigation systems in agriculture reduce water waste. Industries are improving the efficiency of cooling towers, saving thousands of gallons. Some of these innovations are already being used in the Colorado River watershed. New technology is also being developed to improve a process called desalination, which turns salt water into fresh drinking water. This could help add more fresh water back into depleted watersheds during dry periods. The final type of water-saving strategy is personal and community actions. Cisterns or rain barrels can store rainwater to use during droughts. Installing low-flow fixtures can help you save water when you turn on your sink or shower at home. And community gardens can add plants back into urban areas, helping balance the water cycle. You'll have the chance to explore even more conservation solutions in your lesson activities. Just like a single drop rippling through a pond, every action, big or small, adds up. Sustainable practices can help us restore the natural flow of watersheds and reduce conflict between stakeholders. Your local watershed, whether in Arizona or somewhere else, depends on people like you to make smart choices. What is one action you could take to protect your local watershed? Pause the video and record your thoughts. We all depend on this fresh water, and we all play a role in using water sustainably. Watersheds collect and move water, connecting water across long distances. Cities, farms, industries, and wildlife all depend on healthy watersheds. Challenges like drought, overuse, and climate change threaten the system. But through technology, cooperation, and individual action, we can conserve and protect water for the future. In our next lesson, we'll explore how pollution can spread through watersheds and what you can do to stop it. Remember, Every drop of water is part of a bigger system. Each of us can take action where we are to protect water resources hundreds of miles away. Keep learning and making sustainable choices, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, hey.